super excited to have Larry Crabbe as part of our virtual event this year. For anyone who's ever done Grand Rapids Tri in the past, you know crossing that finish line would not be the same without having Larry to bring you home.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Larry Crabbe, your announcer for the Grand Rapids Triathlon 9.5 series. So good morning.
Larry, how did you get involved with GR Tri and in announcing in general? I mean, you announce pretty much everything around, it seems like. So what got you started?
It started back in 98. There's a race called Run Fast, Eat Pasta, and I actually did a race, and that was a 5K. It's my first ever 5K, and I knew the general manager at Pietro's and working at the health club, and he said, "Hey, Larry, the announcer can't do this race. Why don't you just go up there and make some stuff up and do what he was doing, 18,000 tons of tomatoes. It was just all this nonsense that was just makeup. And here comes Joe Doe coming down the road. And so that's how it all started back in 1998. And then, of course, that race director was friends of many other race directors that are in town. And they said, wow, that was actually fun. That was good. It was something that was unique that our race didn't have in the past. And what do you do in June? What do you do in March? And that's how races started happening. It was really no different than Grand Rapids Triathlon. It was this triathlon that was early in the season of the racing season, and it caught a lot of interest in West Michigan, and including me. And I was like, why did they reach out to me? So it was actually fun. I actually went down there and rode my bike to the course. I saw the energy and excitement that was happening at the first inaugural GR Triathlon. Come to find out that Lionel Sanders was there at that race, destroying the course for his amateur, almost his way to really hitting it. It was nice. And then a couple years go by, and then the staff, Andy and Angie, the past race directors, approached me because, again, what I saw originally with Grand Rapids Triathlon, what the event was becoming, they wanted to make it a whole lot more. And I was very thankful they brought me on board. And from there, it's just been a whole lot of fun. It's been great. I think it's one of certainly my favorite events, just because of the epicenter right there for where I'm at the finish line. I get to see 4 phases of the 6 of the transition. So I'm really in the heart of the matter. It's actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, that really is a great venue. It feels like to just, like you said, be at ground zero and be able to see everything going on all day long. So unfortunately, obviously, we can't do that this year. But, why did you decide to kind of join us and do the virtual announcing for this thing? I mean, it's completely different than probably anything you've done before, anything we've done.
Races started falling back in March, and that's where I was thinking, how creative could I be on social media if I knew, John, that you completed a race? Could I do a text message, and instead of just typing it, could I just do an audio and saying congratulations? And a couple of my friends reached out for doing virtual races in the Grand Rapids area and said, hey, do you mind doing a recording for my wife and their 2 friends and making it big, like they're making this accomplishment. But I think it's celebrating that accomplishment. Many athletes have a journey. They have a reason why they wanted to go ahead and make Grand Rapids Triathlon maybe their first triathlon, or they have a goal of the Olympic or the half distance. And so it was upon me to make their experience as big as possible. And I think that's where I try not to make it about myself. I try to make it about each and every individual athlete that is out there. So when you were going virtually, I was thinking, how can we make this happen? And then when you texted me and got in contact with me, it was a done deal. It was all set. So you got me on board.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm in a unique position where I've been a participant for so many years of this event before, stepping on the other side of things. And even going back, I can remember in 2015, you just know all these little snippets about so many people. It really amazes me. I mean, I crossed the finish line and I did the typical, hand off and grab the kids for my wife, waiting at the top of the chute. I had a baby, I had my 4 other kids. And, you were talking about that as I was crossing, and just little moments like that stick out. And then another year, I think you even sang a snippet of happy birthday because it happened to be my birthday on race day. And you seem to do that for everybody. I mean, what kind of prep do you do that you can pick out these interesting little tidbits about the participants that they just probably don't expect?
I listen and watch throughout the race. So if your kids had a sign that said happy birthday, Dad, it was easy for me. If it was I try to find that, maybe that mom that's in a race, or a dad that's in a race with tugging their kids around with their signs and their wagons and their chairs, and because mom or dad is in the race. And I want to find out who that is, because there's a lot of sacrificing that goes in to the preparation on both ends. An athlete separates from their family, and the family separates from that athlete, and to try to make that come together so it's not like it's all about the athlete again on the family side. So the family gets recognized, the kids get a shout out. Maybe if I know the kid is going to be okay, that it's not going to blow my system, it's maybe helping me bring mom and dad into the finish line. And I think that's what's great about your races that you guys put on. It is a family friendly race, and we can do these kind of things that make Grand Rapids Triathlon very unique and very special, and in my opinion, for a lot of different races.
So talking about your race day and your watching and everything, what actually goes into your race day? What does that look like? Because again, as a participant, you're aware of Larry Crabbe when you get there. You're doing your announcing in the morning, but athletes are focused on setting up the transition, making sure they've got their hydration, everything's set, peeing 5 million times before they get in the water, and then they're vaguely kind of aware of you until they get to the finish line. But seeing you actually work behind the scenes last year, you're at this all day long, pretty much. I mean, from early in the morning until the end, correct?
Yeah, it does start. I think it maybe for me, especially if I'm familiar with the race, a lot of logistic stuff really doesn't change. I know the layout going into the game, but if it's a new event or things change, I think it's my responsibility to understand everything that's in that athlete book as much as the athlete for their preparation and then their ease. And I think I mentioned about anxiety for an athlete. I don't sleep the night before. If I get 3-4 hours, because there's so much prep going in there, I'm thumbing through the book. I'm trying to find that last minute, like I have to find this athlete some part of the day. Most of those, the ones I really want to get out and about, are ones that it's special to me personally, and it might be good or bad that I'm trying to go around to make them have the best experience possible. But for me, I have to show up calm, believe it or not, because in all the chaos that is going to happen, is I have to also project my energy throughout the day. But I show up 5 o'clock in the morning typically. I will make sure everything's set up on my end, and then I'll go do some previewing. I'll go to the water, make sure the water temperature is where I need to announce it. I'll walk the full length of the transition area, high-fiving athletes, saying good morning. Again, everything's okay type of deal, making sure athletes have everything. And then throughout the day, it's just execution. I mean, I've been hired to do a job, and I want it to be as flawless as you guys' expectations and above. And I just want to bring the energy, because it is just me. And for that length of time, it's okay. I always want to make sure I can savor the voice and not to ruin it. And if there's been days where, I'm not personally at my best, and I don't think many people know that I'm not. I'll have a migraine, I'll get one, I'm not feeling well. But I think it's just kind of helping that out, because it's my job and responsibility to keep the athletes informed. It's nice to check in with the race directors. I make sure the volunteers, if they need anything, I always ask the leads if anything needs to be done, if they need to recruit more volunteers. Of course, I'm just thanking our sponsors. It's not, they need all the love and they can. And then sometimes the sponsors that I didn't get a chance to see at the expo, the day before in virtual world, it's going to be a little bit of challenge too, because things change with our sponsors too, that they want maybe things said differently. And I'm about everybody. And I know our races are pretty dry sometimes. And I think that's a nice balance I do give to our sponsors. And then also keep that real for the athletes that are definitely there. But I try to make it personal with everybody. I really do try to find the story in the athlete, and if they're struggling, and give the encouragement, encourage others to encourage as they come by. And it's just about that energy, I think, that we continue to go. Sometimes the selection of music is not my choice, so don't shoot the music.
Yeah,
man.
no,
but,
I know.
It's still fun. I'm like, it's especially if I say something, it's like, then the music is in the background. I'm like, yeah, that didn't really fit what I said. So.
Yeah. The mood might not match the soundtrack at the time. What kind of what standout moments have you had over the years at GR Tri? I mean, I can think of a couple events that probably happened that might stick out, but I mean, you see everything and you hear everything.
I think for Grand Rapids, when Grand Rapids Triathlon hosted the USAT Long Course National Championships, that race, maybe 2014, I think. Mm-hmm. That's when I knew that, bam, this race had made it, and it was going to be a staple. And I knew that this race was going to be able to be on platforms of others that people say by name. And I said, I was so proud to be a part of the race and the announcer for that. And again, I had show up differently than that. So I think that was a great moment from a race standpoint to see that. And I think what's great too is the group of athletes that come. You know, you see them, they're kind of nestled around the finish line, and we're able to kind of pause, say, let's make it a really good photo for you. So like the team from St. Louis that comes, our friends from Canada that come, they keep coming back because of the great experience they have. And why ruin it? I mean, Finisher Picks is there for the finish line, and they typically like, don't use your camera, use ours, and they want the best photo for them. And again, like I said, it's just the time and time again. Many athletes that are, it's also good moments to see these athletes at the beginning of the season, then maybe compete in national, world championships, Kona, and many athletes are that way, where you see it, or friends in there that are really highly qualified athletes, semi-pro. And those guys are like, you're able to have the work within the race, and it's the energy there that you're trying to bring back to it. And then now we have sports stats, which is awesome. I can grab my phone or my laptop or my iPad, and I can now have a play-by-play as to what's going on. And that experience there is really standout moments for the past for me. And there's plenty of others, and it's just fun from rain or shine, chilly, hot, we've had it all, haven't we? Over the 10 years, it's certainly here. So now everyone can do it virtually, and if they don't want to go out and when it's a droplet of rain, they can ride the course virtually in their basement, and it's a different and unique
There's no excuse to not have the perfect race day this year.
If not, you can do it again. Exactly.
So what do you want to leave people with? I mean, obviously this virtual GR Tri 9.5 is completely different. It's a complete pivot from all the work being done for the 10th anniversary that we postponed to next year, but it's still shaping up to be an event, at least we hope, in its own sense. So what do you want to leave with people to kind of get them to think about giving it a try and kind of going on this unique journey with us during this unique time?
I think if you've already put in some work, you had an idea, maybe someone challenged you to do a race, and Grand Rapids Triathlon was going to be your event that you were going to make this happen, still do it. It's going to be these events like the Grand Rapids Triathlon, who are now doing a brand new and unique event for 9.5, and they're still going to come back next year stronger for the 10.0. And I think the 10-year anniversary, is going to be really awesome, especially with Jon on board. I might have to grow the beard out next year just to be your brother from another mother, and we can still have a lot of fun. But I think the athletes themselves keep coming. Share and brag about the sport. There's so many different things you can do. You don't like water, don't worry about it. You can do a duathlon. If you have some buddies that are not strong in any one of the events, challenge, short straw wins, and then you get to pick first or second, third of what type of events. You can do it as a team, but encourage people to move more, be active. And I had to say this, even from an event that I wasn't participating in as a race announcer, I did go to the inaugural Grand Rapids Triathlon, and the experience has just blown me away. And from that day until today, it's still growing. It's only getting better. So I would encourage athletes to definitely give Grand Rapids Triathlon certainly a strong look, if not if they haven't already registered.
Well, thanks for that, Larry, for sure. And actually, you were at the first one. Since you don't have to announce a physical event this year, are you going to do the virtual event?
I am. Here it is,
awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure what I will be doing, but yes, I certainly will not be doing anything Olympic or half. I will do a sprint distance. I'm not a big strong swimmer. I have yet to lace up any running shoes, but I have doing some biking. So maybe with my our partner bike shop, I can get bike fitted, and then maybe I can borrow a strong missile ship so I can keep up with the likes of like Todd Buckingham and other.
Good luck with that.
Maybe I'll just borrow Todd's bike. So
yeah, there you go. World exclusive. You heard it right here. Larry Crabbe doing.
I am doing it, and so should you.
Well, thanks again, Larry. I really appreciate it. We're super excited that you've been so supportive, just willing to just think outside the box with us, because this is all we got right now. This is the best that most races are going to be able to do is some kind of virtual event, and I feel like we're really trying to put together as many pieces of race day as possible for our participants, and you being there is, that's the key to making this happen. If you weren't there to announce the event on a normal race day, it wouldn't be the same. So to have you as part of this virtual event is like the cherry on the top as far as we're concerned. For complete details on how the virtual announcing is going to work, please visit our website at grandrapidstri.com. And if you haven't already, get signed up for the virtual event happening this June, presented by Huntington Bank. Talk to you guys real soon.